Okay, video number 2. We had stopped the video and it timed out and stopped, so I'm showing the customer we have 2 different pictures here. So she had to make a judgment call on what she wanted to do. We're going to go ahead and put this on. Here's the new fixture, very similar to the old one on the first video, but smaller, slightly different thickness, a little bit different shape. Looks very similar unless you put them side by side, they're very quite different. So we are gonna put one of them up, and there's only one that's burnt out. This one was burnt out, but there's one at the top of the stairs too, up there, of the original one that still works. So she is wanting to, we're going to see how different they look when they're actually put in. See if I'm still on my light there. Okay, so we will now work on getting our mounting bracket in place. And on this one, the mounting bracket, the holes have to be horizontal. So this mounting bracket has, the holes are, where it goes is on the sides like that. So you have to have it orientated, if that's the right word, correctly. So sometimes these boxes are not the greatest for where our holes are. That's why they make these with a bunch of different types of gaps, so that hopefully you can get it done the way you need to get it done. So we'll see how this one works out. We'll check it out. Sometimes it has to be a little bit customized, one might say. This one looks like it'll be all right. This one looks like we got a couple openings that we can go ahead and do, no problem. I'm just throwing stuff everywhere. I'm a pretty big mess at the moment. So eyeball is never perfect. I got to be able to adjust it a little once I get it up there, so I don't have it crazy tight. It's the goal to have it tight enough to be snug, but loose enough that I can twist it a little bit. And see if I have my level on me. And I don't. That's all right. We'll do the eyeball. like to do is that little ground screw that is right there. That thing, we like to wrap it around that. It acts as a anchor point while you're doing the installation. Now the light can hang there. And you can do your wiring and your makeup without having to try to hold the light at the same time, which is very frustrating, of course. And when you do a stranded wire and a solid wire, you want to have the stranded wire slightly 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch past the solid one. It tends to grab much better in your wire nut. So do that. Pull on it to check it. Now we'll have our, try not to damage the wall, Mr. Ball. Same thing here. Sometimes these are stripped really short and you need to strip them further. This one's okay. So we want to go just a hair past on that one also. Even though it's got solder on it, I still go on the smaller gauge. I'll go a hair past. Always tug on them, try to make sure, try to pull them out on purpose. Don't get crazy, but just tug on them, make sure they're tight. And what this is, there's two. There's a wire into this box and then out of this box going up to the upper light is what that second wire is. And I often won't use these wire nuts. I mean, I use them, but the ones that come with the lights, they work all right, but I'm kind of spoiled. I prefer my the ones I use, generally speaking, but this is fine for lights. It's no big deal. And then sometimes when you have too much, you spin it once, and it kind of helps them not flop outside when you're trying to put the light in. So I will dangle this for a moment, get my 2 screws. These screws have these little rubber washer things on them. I don't know what they're for. I guess they're to keep from scratching, I suppose. The side of the fixture is my guess. Never tighten the first one up all the way, because you got to be able to move the other side around. Sometimes it's frustrating to try to get the screw started on these ones on the other side of the fixture, especially if you can't see it. And you have to feel it, which can be frustrating, but I got that one, so that's good. Hooray for me. And I'm going to do it by hand because I don't want to get my drill up against the wall like that right there. And this is crooked. This thing to the canopy, the manufacturer has it slightly crooked. I never like to try to repair their screw ups because it tends to break. Fixture might get damaged, and I didn't make the fixture. I didn't sell it. I'm not interested in repairing it either. As a general rule of thumb, it's something simple, sure. But this one looks like it got glued into this. It looks a little crooked, actually. So we have to decide, is this square or is this square? Yeah, that's a bummer. That's pretty far off. Yeah, it's not something that might have helped a hair, but not much. Okay, so let's see how that looks from a distance. Let's try to turn it on and see if it pops. Oh yeah, 2 completely different colors. So what we have here is we have one fixture that looks like 3000 Kelvin in color, and then the other fixture looks like 4000 Kelvin. I don't know if you could tell in the video, but they're a different color. This one's much warmer. than that one. So she is not going to want to keep this light. She's going to want to, it came with two. She's going to want to change that one, I'm sure, also. Okay, now we are on the upstairs one because the two colors are dramatically different. So she does indeed want to change the upper one also. So that's what we're going to do. It came in a 2-pack and they're both a little bit crooked from the manufacturer, but that is something we will live with. So we will do a second one. Certainly glad I can reach these without a ladder. That would have been a problem on the stairwell, an annoyance. This one has 2 wires also because it goes up to a hanging chandelier right here, which of course now that color is also a colder 4,000 Kelvin, which she's probably going to end up getting bulbs to change. That one has bulbs that are changeable, so that's a good thing. And whoever put this in does the same thing that most electricians do. They'll screw the ground wire around the mounting bracket's ground screw to hold it in place. Oh, I dropped the screw for this one. Okay, so I will. Now the new one. Yeah, you can see it's this one's just a hair crooked. So this is a little bit tilted one way or the other. I think it's yeah, this is that way from the squareness of this, but the other one's worse. This one's just a little bit, but it's noticeable. I showed the customer, and of course she's not amused by that, but what are you gonna do? She's gonna go ahead and have me put them in. Now this one looks like it was a problem, a little bit of a problem for the electrician. They had to drill another hole. Yeah, it looks like they drilled a little hole right there so they could get this mounting bracket into this other screw. So this is what I was talking about on that earlier video, is that sometimes the box isn't orientated correctly. Let's see how this one does up here, see if I have to do some customizing to get it in. Ooh, I think we're fine. This bracket's slightly different, so we're okay, I believe. It looks like got lucky twice today on that, because those things are the kind of little things that cause trouble. and annoyances, but I think I've dodged that bullet on this little one. Okay, so mounting brackets in. Now we will, oh, where'd that little ground screw go? Uh-oh, it had fallen out and she had given it to me. So let me pause this and see. Okay, so there's our little ground screw that had fallen out of there, which we want to have in our fixture. It grounds this housing, so if a hot wire touches it, it'll pop the breaker too. So that's nice. And more importantly to me, it also, you know, grounds everything, but we can hang the fixture from it to install it, which makes life a lot easier for the installer. Now remember, when you wrap this thing around, wrap it around the way the screw turns. If you wrap it around backwards, when you go to tighten the screw, it undoes it. So it's a sure way for an electrician to know that somebody didn't know what they were doing when they put it on, that it was an amateur or whatever. His screws will be done the wrong way when they're tightening up on things like this or receptacles, or anytime there's a screw wrapped around with a wire, you always want to wrap the wire around the same direction as the screw turns. All right, ground. Slightly past the stranded ground, slightly past the solid. It grabs better in the wire nut. Tighten up good, pull on it, make sure it feels solid and it's not going to pop out. Because a lot of times when you go to push stuff in, it'll pop out and you don't see it. And that's not a good thing, we don't like that. Alright, now we will have our neutral. As a general rule, you do your neutral, you do your hot, your black last, and when you're taking stuff off, you take your hot, your black one off first. And then if for some reason you're worried about it being hot, you throw the wire nut back on the hot group. If you're worried about it getting turned on or something like that, then it's safe. There's So, all right. So our happy little decorative screws. Just get them started. Easier said than done. Ooh, I got it. Hooray for me. Okay. Okay, I'll look at it from downstairs, see how it looks. As far as straightness goes. Alright. Okay, so this one from down there looks a little to that way. I think that's probably just about right. Right there, visually at least. Which a level's nice, but a level isn't always accurate. I mean, it's accurate with level, but a lot of times it does not look level because other things aren't quite level or the light's kind of tweaked or weird. So I always like to do a visual look as well as if I have my level on me, I'll check the level. But I always go visual above level in these kind of situations. Okay, so here is the overhead light that has a completely different color than that. That's more of a 3000. That's more of a 4000 Kelvin, wider. So she is gonna get, there's bulbs able to change on those, so she's gonna do that. So there's those lights. They are all done. Thank you for watching. I'll post up some more videos later. I'm gonna start doing some how-to videos on different little service calls that I do, changing out plugs, stuff like that. So I'd love for you to subscribe. If you wanna subscribe to our channel, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you, have a great day.